is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It's a great night for baseball here in Minneapolis, and tonight the Tigers wrap up their three-game series against the Twins, and despite last night's gut-wrenching loss, well, the Tigers still in pretty good shape. They lead Kansas City by 1.5 games in the American League Central Division. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 3 in the series. The Tigers lost an opportunity to gain more ground on KC last night, Ron, but as they say in the baseball schedule, there's always another game the next night.
Well, they quickly had to turn the page from last night's gut-wrenching loss. And one of the things about this Minnesota Twins team, I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they play the Tigers tougher than any other team that they play. They average 6 runs per game against Tigers pitching.
Yeah, I can't figure it out either. I mean, this is a team, Minnesota, that is in last place. Yet when you look at some of the numbers between these two squads, just about dead even.
Well, when you start looking at the Tigers, the one number that jumps out at me is the fact that the Tigers have a 5.72 earned run average against this Minnesota Twins team. They are a much better pitching team than they've displayed.
All right, J.D. Martinez, what more can we say about this young man? He did it yet again last night with what we thought was going to be the game-winning home run, but when the 7th inning rolls around, that's J.D.'s time.
It's pretty much a given these days with J.D. Martinez. If he comes up with the game on the line, they may have to do it because Miguel didn't get it done or Victor didn't get it done in last night's game, but J.D. Martinez has been tremendous, especially very late in games. He has had 8 home runs in 9 in the games that he's played this year for the Tigers. He's been tremendous.
All right, now David Price will toe the slab tonight for the Tigers, and for David Price, we know when he has got his command going, he is as good as anybody in the game, and really recently he's had that command going.
You know, I think we're going to see a little bit of a different David Price here tonight. Not necessarily the one that's able to paint that fastball and that breaking ball and hit the glove of Avila or Holiday, whoever's out there, but we're going to see one that pitches inside occasionally here tonight. He's given up quite a few hits this year, which is rare for a guy that has the kind of skill set that Price has. But if you take a look at every single one of these pitches, every one is away, whether it be to the right-hander or the left-hander. Then I think somebody's gotten in his ear, and they have told him occasionally come inside and make your life that much easier. You'll get yourself some easier outs. This much we do know. It's pretty much going to be an off night tonight for the Tigers bullpen because usually when he goes out there, he pitches at least 8 innings.
And we hope that is the case here again tonight. Glad to have you with us. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call-Sam Studios. Check in with Mickey York in just a few. Coming up, well, some late game highs and lows in games 1 and 2. Tigers hoping to win the series tonight. Stay with us. Tiger Baseball next. Minneapolis tonight. The Tigers wrap up this series here against the Minnesota Twins. It'll be the rubber game of the match, and the Tigers hoping to take 2 out of 3 here as we check out their starting lineup. Presented tonight by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for Brad Ausmus, he lines them up like this. Ian Kinsler will lead things off. He'll play at second base, followed by Torrey Hunter in right field. Miguel Cabrera at first base. Victor DHing tonight. JD Martinez this month, well, he's been on fire. .364. Castellanos back in the lineup tonight at third. Holiday, Romine, Rajay Davis rounded out tonight for the Tigers, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Kyle Gibson.
Hey, one of the things the Tigers are going to have to do against Gibson, they're going to have to make him get the ball up in the strike zone. He has got a great power sinker. As a matter of fact, 55% of his outs are on the ground. He also has a nice little slider, changeup, and a curveball to go with that really good sinker that he has. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Minnesota Twins this evening, presented by Tim Hortons. You've got Schaefer, Santana, Hicks in the outfield. Third to first, you've got Plouffe, you've got Nunez, you've got Dozier, and you've got Joe Mauer. Kurt Suzuki is the catcher once again here this evening.
And we are ready for baseball tonight as Ian Kinsler leads it off for the Tigers. It'll be Kinsler, Hunter, and Cabrera here against the right-hander Kyle Gibson. 3 out of 7 for Kinsler against Gibson. Some limited time against the righty, but some pretty good success. Ian 1 for 9 in the series. And Gibson ready to go to work. So are we. The first pitch of tonight's ball game is fouled back out of play, 0-1. It's been a slow go for Kinsler trying to get it going here, leading the Tigers offense at the top of the starting 9. He's had 176 hits this year. That is good for 5th in the American League. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kinsler has knocked in 82. Among the league leaders in runs scored. He's done a nice job of setting the table. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped him up. Right side. Heading toward foul territory. Long run for Dozier, who makes the basket catch. 1 up and 1 away, and the field conditions tonight are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. It's a beautiful night here. 73 degrees, clear skies, clear and cool to be exact here at Target Field.
And Brian Dozier displaying a lot of range here on this pop-up off the bat of Ian Kinsler. It looked like he was going to be the only one to get there. Mauer, the first baseman, wouldn't have got there, nor would Hicks gotten there, the right fielder.
Here's Torrey Hunter. A little bit outside, 1-0 on Torrey.
Yeah, the fastball for Gibson this evening will top out at about 94, but his average fastball right around 89 to 91. That's the one that he gets the most movement on.
Well, he's a big guy, 6'6", 220. Greenfield, Indiana is his hometown.
Yeah, that helps him in getting that ball down in the strike zone. That high 3/4 arm slot, he gets on top of the ball and he throws straight downhill.
2-0 is grounded foul. 2-1 on Hunter.
Now here's an idea of the life that Gibson will have on his fastball tonight. Looks like it's right down the middle, and that ball just creeps in on the hands of Torrey Hunter.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Torrey drives it to center field, playable for Santana. And there are 2 gone.
And Danny Santana starting to get more and more comfortable out in center field. He is a shortstop by trade, and they have said that he's going to be their shortstop of the future. That remains to be seen, but he's taking better routes as a center fielder these days.
Well, with 2 outs, here is Miguel Cabrera. He has homered against Gibson in his career, 2 for 5, 3 RBIs.
And Mickey's been hot in the month of September. He's gotten that batting average back up to 314.
He'll pull that one foul down the left field line. Well, here's hoping he can remain hot the final 2 weeks. 441 in the month of September for Miguel Cabrera.
And Tigers 3, 4, 5 hitters in the month of September. There have been none better in all of baseball.
Gibson with the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
That's the one thing we've seen Miggy do quite a bit of this year, swinging a lot of breaking balls that are off the plate, that are down, that he never really swings at. Miggy has great plate discipline, but this year he has left the strike zone quite often.
Gibson trying to finish him off. The 0-2. It's lined to left field. That's a base hit. 2-out single for Miguel Cabrera.
And the previous breaking ball was a pretty good breaking ball. It was a slider that it was able to get away from Miggy. And this next breaking ball that Gibson flips up there is just a little breaking ball. He's lucky that Miguel didn't hit that one out of the ballpark. He usually does.
That'll be his 5th hit of the series. 5 for 10 now for Cabrera.
He wears out Minnesota Twins pitching anyway, and he really likes hitting in this ballpark.
He'll keep it going now for Victor Martinez, who came in batting .333. He's also had a pretty good series. Couple of doubles, 4 hits total. Ball 1 low and away. Defensively, they do play deep at second base. Dozier has gone to the grass. Otherwise, Nunez, the shortstop, stays to the third base side of the bag. Martinez' next RBI will be his 100th of the year. And it's in for a strike. 1-1.
Victor's first year in the Tigers uniform, he drove in over 100 runs, but he only hit 12 home runs that season. He has 31 of them this year.
Well, he had a tremendous month of August. Was the Tigers player of the month. He has followed that up with a .379 month of September.
He was a player of the month in the American League, wasn't he?
He was. Here's the 1-1. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. The other thing about Victor, and we talk about this a lot, he doesn't strike out all that much. He's had 64 plate appearances this month. He struck out once.
Ooh.
There was last night's hero waiting on deck, J.D. Martinez. He was a hero for a little bit until the Tigers gave it up in the bottom of the ninth. 2-1 on Victor. Just underway, and a nice night here in Minneapolis. Cabrera at first base. And again, Gibson staying away, and the count goes 3-1. In the first game in this series, the first 2 were retired. Then Cabrera doubled, Victor doubled, J.D. Martinez doubled. The Tigers jumped out to an early lead in game 1 in the series. Very difficult to maneuver through 3 and 4 in the Tigers lineup. And he walked him. That's going to put 2 men on. So it was looking like it might be an easy inning for Gibson. Not so. He'll bring Suzuki, the catcher, out to the mound.
If you missed it last night in the 9th inning, couple of runners aboard. J.D. Martinez hit an absolute high towering fly ball to right field, which carried out. I was talking to J.D. before the game today, and I said, you knew that was gone as soon as you hit it. He said, Rod, I killed that ball, but then I saw that it barely got out. And he said he was very, very surprised. He thought he hit that a lot better than what it ended up, as far as it ended up going.
Well, in the series, 5 for 7. And there probably isn't a worse feeling than hitting a ball, pointing up at it, knowing it's gone, and then you're thinking, oh, maybe it's not.
Yeah, we had a shot last night of him, and he went from pointing and knowing that it was gone to praying that it went out.
Well, it did. And it was home run number 23 for J.D. 2 on, 2 out here in the first. Bouncing ball foul, third base side, 1-1. Brad Ausmus had some comments about Martinez, saying that everybody knew he had the massive power that he has, but he has kind of combined that with the confidence he has gotten by having success this year, and that's made a pretty lethal combination. Confidence has certainly been a big part of JD's game. He has never really gone into an extended slump.
A lot of hard work, too.
Ground ball back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Here comes Cabrera to third base. They'll send him home, and he will score. It's a 2-out single and an RBI for J.D. Martinez.
Well, you know that Gibson is going to throw his fair share of ground balls. We told you that 55% of his outs come via the ground ball, and that's a good sinker down. And J.D. Martinez goes down to get it, and he rips it right past a diving Nunez for the first RBI in the run of the game for the Tigers.
Gibson had 2 out, nobody on. He had Cabrera 0-2, and then all of a sudden a single, a walk, and a single. And the Tigers jump out 1-0 tonight. 76 RBIs for J.D. Martinez. Nick Castellanos back in the lineup tonight, stands in. Castellanos did not play last night. He fouled a ball off his foot in game 1 in the series. And sat out last night, although he did move to the on-deck circle as a potential pinch hitter late. Swings right through it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick has the clean-shaven look going tonight.
It's a nice pickup.
1-1 on the Tiger third baseman. Fouled away. 1-2.
And we talked about the Tigers 3, 4, 5 in the month of September. They've been getting busy, led by Miguel. And also J.D. Martinez driving in lots of runs. There's Victor Martinez right in the middle. He's been doing a nice job of setting the table.
And Gibson thought he had strike 3. The infield a couple of steps back to the dugout. Instead, it's 2-2 on Nick. Cabrera got it going with a 2-out single. He has come around to score the game's first run. Low. Did you see Stephen Moya taking notes on the bench?
I did not see Stephen Moya taking notes.
I believe that was Moya. He's leading. Yeah, there he is. How about that?
Must have learned something from J.D. Martinez.
Moya taking this opportunity here in the month of September to learn what big league life is all about. There's a 3-2 with the runners going. Driven to the gap in left center field. That'll get down, a base hit. 1 run scores. Martinez will go to third, and Castellanos has made it a 2-0 game. 4 straight have reached after the first 2 were retired.
And it's a real nice swing here by Castellanos. It's a fastball on the outside part of the plate that he stays with. He's in that 2-strike approach where he does not lift the foot off the ground. He spreads out, which allows him to recognize strikes in the zone, and he rips that one right up the middle.
61 RBIs now for Castellanos. The Tigers on top 2-0 early in this one. So Gibson was on his way to an easy first inning, but here are the splits in his wins and losses. In his victories, he's been dominant. Less than a 1 ERA. And apparently doesn't lose too many close games, because in losses his ERA is about 8.5. He's already given up a couple of runs here. Ryan Holiday stands in now with 2 outs. Bouncing ball fouled down the third base line. That was close.
And Corey Blazer, he is the third base umpire here today. He had to think about it before he made the call.
Close, but just a touch outside the bag.
And 3rd consecutive game that Brian Holiday has caught.
Tigers will have an off day tomorrow in Kansas City. We'll see if Avila is able to come back in the lineup on Friday. Little number off the end of the bat. Gibson will handle it, and that'll be it for the Tigers. What a good first inning. RBIs for Martinez and Castellanos. First inning, and now the Twins will come to the plate, and they will face the left-hander David Price, who is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Sorry about that. David Price, impressive numbers up and down, 250 strikeouts, which leads Major League Baseball. He's already made a couple of starts this year against Minnesota, and he's been simply dominant against them, 2-0 with 21 strikeouts in 17 innings.
Here is the Twins lineup that he will face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Danny Santana leads it off, followed by Brian Dozier and then Joe Mauer. Kenny Vargas has had some nice numbers against the Tigers in 6 games this year. Plouffe and Suzuki to follow, then Nunez, Hicks, and Jordan Schaefer. Ron Gardner in the Twins. Danny Santana leads it off. He's had a nice series. He has stolen a couple of bases, scored a couple of runs, and he's 4 for 8. Price works at home, and he throws outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
I expect the Minnesota Twins to swing early and often against David, just like most teams do. He's always around the plate. Most of his stuff is hard stuff. Fastball, cutter, slider, changeup.
Fly ball right center field, hit pretty well, and that ball is going to go up against the wall. It's extra bases. Santana going to try for 3, and the throw is late. He dives in with a leadoff triple.
He has absolutely been killing the Tigers.
I don't know about you, but this guy looks awfully impressive.
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at Mr. Danny Santana. He takes a fastball and hits the ball to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark, off the out-of-town scoreboard in right center field. And once the ball gets past Rajai Davis, who tried to barehand it, Santana able to get all the way to third base, and he would have gotten to third base even if Rajai would have fielded that ball cleanly off the wall.
7th triple of the year for the Twins leadoff man, and a very early scoring chance.
And for that very reason alone, we might see David Price throw a few more fastballs inside to some of these right-handed batters, which would open up the outside corner for him. Here he goes now with a fastball in.
Dozier backs out.
I was told we'd see a little bit more of that here today.
Dozier batting .235. He's hit 20 home runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit, left field. And just like that, the Twins have one of those runs back.
Well, they play the Tigers tough. We talked about that at the top of the show. These teams have played 14 times this year, and the Tigers have won 7, and Minnesota has also won 7. Take a look at the Tigers starting defense behind David Price this evening. J.D. Martinez, Davis, and Hunter in the outfield. Romine Kinsler up the middle. Miggy Castellanos on the corners. Brian Holiday is the catcher. The Tigers have done a really nice job at catching the baseball in their last 9 games. Only 1 mistake, 1 error, and their record is 7-2 in that span.
Here is Joe Mauer now. Triple by Santana, single by Dozier, who has just picked up his 64th RBI. Mauer takes ball 1 outside. 4 RBIs for Mauer in the series. He had a couple of hits. All of his damage coming in game 1. He was hitless last night. Dozier can run. He has 21 steals. And it's a little bit low. 2-0 on Mauer. Mauer back in the month of April picked up his 1,500th hit. A career that's had a couple of batting titles. Playing first base these days now. And Mauer fouls that one back out of play. Here's our Bernstein advantage tonight, and as good as Joe Mauer has been in his career, David Price has the Bernstein advantage. Mauer's just 3 for 18 against him. 5 of those at bats, resulting in a strikeout. 2 balls, 1 strike. Price overall making his 32nd start of the year. 14 victories this season. With the Tigers, a record of 3-3. He's had some really good starts with Detroit, but then he's had a couple of starts. He got roughed up, of course, against the Yankees when he gave up the 9 consecutive hits in 1 inning. But by and large, he has been good for the Tigers. Mauer waits on a 2-1. Tigers got 2 in the first. The Twins answer with 1 of their own. Still nobody out of the bottom of the first inning. Foul straight back. 2-2 on Joe Mauer.
Yeah, mid-90s fastball already thrown here in the first inning by David Price. He's been right around 93 to 95 with all of his fastballs.
League leader in innings pitched and strikeouts, David Price.
And Mauer will hit into quite a few double plays if you can throw him something soft and get him out on that front foot. He might roll right over to Ian Kinsler.
Off the plate as Holiday held it there, and the count will fill up now 3-2.
So far, all hard stuff thrown by Price to Mauer. Ron Gardenhire probably has quite a bit of trust in Joe Mauer to put the ball in play. Therefore, Dozier, who does have some speed at first base, might just be on the move here.
And Price will throw back to the bag. Three and 2 on Joe. Leadoff triple by Santana, single by Dozier has made it a 2-1 game.
If Dozier is on the move, these are the situations where you usually get to strike him out, throw him out, because he's not going to get a good jump against the left-handed Price if he's running.
Runner is going, and it is ball 4. Put 2 men on now. The Twins coming right back. The first 3 men have reached here in the first inning. First walk of the ball game for David Price. Here is Vargas now with nobody out. Well, he continues to swing it against the Tigers. Hasn't been in the big leagues all that long. Got called up halfway through the year.
Yeah, big fella had a nice night last night. Homer, triple, single.
8 home runs at the major league level this year. 2 on, nobody out. Check, swing, strike, 0-1. Dozier at second base, Mauer at first. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Vargas. Vargas, as we've mentioned, is only 24 years old, but really has kind of pigeonholed himself into the DH spot. The only other position really he has played is first base. Mauer occupies that spot at the major league level. But his bat, well, it can't be ignored. Here's the 1-1. Lifted back out of play, 1-2. See, Vargas hit 17 home runs down in New Britain, their AA affiliate, and when you combine that with the 8 he's hit in the major league level, it's 25 for the year. Now Price ready with the 1-2. Foul down the right field line. He was late on 96 miles an hour. Vargas played in the Futures game this year right here at Target Field as part of the All-Star festivities and hit cleanup during the Futures game. And not long after that found himself in the major leagues. We missed low, and the count evens now 2-2.
And we were talking about Steven Moya a few seconds ago, and Steven Moya also played in that Futures game right here at Target Field.
Well, right now Vargas trying to pick up a couple of base runners. Here's the 2-2. We got him, strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game for Price.
Yeah, nice cut fastball there thrown by David Price at 90 miles an hour. Vargas gave up on it, and the ball appeared to catch quite a bit of plate. He started that ball well off the plate. Vargas saw it outside, and the cutting action on the pitch allowed it to go straight to Brian Holliday's glove for strike 3. That has been a really good pitch for Price. His cut fastball does not get hit consistently. His four-seam fastball gets hit quite a bit, but not his cut fastball.
Here is Trevor Plouffe now with 1 out. Plouffe looks at the ball inside. Boy, did he have a big at bat last night. He drew the 1-out walk from Nathan in the 9th inning.
It sure was.
He did not come around to score a run. They pinch ran for him, but boy, what a huge at bat.
David Price must keep an eye on Dozier, the base runner at third. He likes to steal third base.
Grounded foul, 1-1.
Here's some of the numbers on that cut fastball we were speaking of on David Price. The batting average against that particular pitch is sub 200 for whether it be the American League hitters or the National League hitters.
Phil Hughes on that list as well. The Tigers fortunately not facing the best pitcher the Twins have had this year. Not in this series. These two teams will meet at Comerica next week to close out the regular season. Tigers clinch right here at Target Field last year. They'll have to clinch at home this season. And who knows, just might be against these Twins again. Here's the 1-1. Right back up the middle into center field. It's a base hit. Dozier rounding third. He'll score. And just like that, the Twins have come right back to tie the ball game. RBI signal for Plouffe.
Look at a changeup there that's probably about 2 or 3 inches off the plate outside, but Trevor Plouffe able to reach out there and hit it right off the end of the bat for another base hit in the Minnesota Twins and another run.
So the Twins have 3 hits plus a walk in this inning after the Tigers had scored 2 in the top of the frame. And now Kurt Suzuki with a chance to give his team the lead. Price has thrown 20 pitches in this inning. He's recorded just 1 out. And Suzuki fouls it back 0-1. Kurt 4 out of 8 in the series. A couple of doubles. Veteran catcher who broke in with the Oakland Athletics. He's had big league time as well with the Nationals. Who, by the way, clinched a playoff spot last night along with the Orioles in the American League. The 0-1. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That'll bounce in. 2-1 the count. Two runs on 3 hits for the Tigers. 2 runs on 3 hits for Minnesota. Nunez waiting in the on deck circle. Each ball club winning 7 games so far in the season series. Pulled down the left field line. That's going to get down. Fair ball. Mauer comes around to score. Into second is Suzuki with a double, and now the Twins have come back to take a 3-2 lead.
We told you at the top of the show that David Price had already pitched twice this year against the Minnesota Twins. And his record is 2-0, and he had given up a total of 3 runs in 21 innings. Already given up 3 runs here today.
That is the 4th hit of the inning for Minnesota.
There's another changeup. Trevor Plouffe hit a changeup, and so did Kurt Suzuki.
Still only 1 out of the inning, and 24 thrown now by Price, but only 13 of them strikes. Jones comes out to make an early visit. Five runs already in this game between the 2 teams. It'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. Did not start last night's game, but had to replace Escobar, their shortstop, who jammed his shoulder on a play diving for a ball. Nunez finished it up, and he's out there again tonight. 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball left side. It is a fair ball. Nice backhanded pick, and Castellanos throws him out. Nick with a nice play. 2 gone.
And Castellanos playing in a couple of steps at third base. Able to pick it with the backhand, and plenty of time throwing it across the diamond and to get Nunez.
So with 2 outs, here is Aaron Hicks, who had the game winner last night. His infield single scored the 2nd run of the 9th inning, and the Twins won it. base hit he had in the ballgame last night. Broke an 0 for 12 slump that he was in. Hicks, much of the season in the minor leagues, has 16 RBIs here in the big leagues. Ball inside, 1-1.
And Price is pitching more inside today, but he has not been able to throw the fastball inside for a strike. Most of the fastballs that he's thrown inside have been off the plate inside.
Ground ball left side. Castellanos has it there. His throw is in time, and that'll end the inning. However, the Twins come back with a 3-spot. 1 inning in the books. We'll go to the second in Minneapolis.
A lot. Miguel Cabrera singled after 2 were out. JD Martinez singled him home. Nate Castellanos, well, he singled Victor Martinez home, who had walked. But the Minnesota Twins got right back in this game. Single by Dozier, single by Fluke, single by Kurt Suzuki to play 3 runs in the very first inning against David Price.
So Kyle Gibson goes back to the mound, leading now 3-2 as we go to the second, and there's a strike called on Andrew Romine. Romine, Davis, and then Kinsler facing the Twins right-hander. Here's the 0-1. Romine sprays it foul, back out of play, 0-2. Romine had a nice game in the opener, had a 3-hit game, couple of RBIs, but he struck out 3 times in last night's contest. And the 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it's good that he's back out there, because I know Romine, when he left the ballpark last night, he probably had a feeling he wouldn't play today after striking out 3 times, but Brad Awesome is running him right back out there again.
Rolled away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of times when you're a bench player, a role player, you strike out 3 times in a game. Usually the other guy is going to get a chance to play the next day.
He has continued to go out there every single day now.
He's catching everything at that shortstop position as well.
Here's the 2-2. Inside, he's gone full now, 3-2.
He reminds me a lot of John Garland. He was a pitch for the Chicago White Sox, same kind of frame, throws over the top, heavy sinker.
And he walked him. This would be a leadoff base on balls here for Romine. Tigers apparently have set the rotation for the KC series, and with more on that, here's John Keegan.
Until today, Mario, the starter on Friday in Kansas City was TBA. And that got us to wondering, what if there was a pitcher who actually had the initials TBA? And so we had our friends at Stats go through the records, and get this, there has never been a pitcher, there has never been a position player, no one in Major League Baseball history has had the initials TBA. Ultimately, it's JV who will start for the Tigers on Friday. It'll be Verlander, Scherzer, and Porcello in the 3 games against the Royals this weekend.
What about Tom Bunning Anderson?
I know we're going to hear from people right away who have options in the TBA thing, but we have people who are geeks, and they looked it up, and we're told no TBAs in baseball history.
That's a shocker. We appreciate it, Keith. There is no Tom Bunning Anderson, by the way. I made that up. Leadoff man on here for the Tigers in the second. Down by a run. Rajay Davis, the batter. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball. It's going to be stabbed at second by Dozier, who makes a terrific play.
That was a hit and run. And Rajay Davis was forced into swinging with Romine on the move, and Dozier, the second baseman, was headed toward the bag. He was going to cover the bag, but the way that he went over there allowed him to get back. Let's take one more look at that. Watch how he kind of shuffles over toward second base, and because he shuffled, he didn't turn his body and run. He was able to redirect, get back, and make a really nice diving play.
Off the bat, it looked like a base hit. Dozier with a really good effort there.
That's the way you're taught to cover the bag when a runner's on the move. You have to get there, but you don't ever want to turn your body, which would not allow you to get back and to make a play like Dozier just made here. Take a look at Dozier, how he shuffles over there to the bag. He never turns, just shuffle, 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 shuffle. Ball hit the other way. All he had to do was plant the 1 foot, get back, dive to make a nice play.
So that leaves the runner at second with 1 out. Kinsler popped up in his first at bat. Sends a ground ball to third. That is a fair ball deep behind the bag, and Plouffe throws him out. Romine will head to third base. 2 gone. Trevor Plouffe was out early today, taking some extra ground balls before the contest this afternoon. Made a nice play deep behind the bag. Well, it's going to take a 2-out hit now for Torrey Hunter. He fly to center field, his only time up so far. Oh, 1 on Torrey. Hunter now 4 for 10 in the series. Gibson ready with the 0-1. Ground ball back up the middle into center field. A base hit, and the Tigers get a 2-out knock to tie the game. Hunter gets his 79th RBI. A big 2-out hit. By the way, our predictions for tonight's Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's new triple cheeseburger for $2. Well, right on cue, I've got Torrey Hunter.
I've got Nicholas tonight.
And John has J.D. Martinez.
All 3 have already done something.
So Hunter ties the game up, and now Cabrera stands in. Miguel got it going with a 2-out single back in the first. Just starting to shape up as one of those games. Last one out, turn out the lights. Could be going back and forth all night long. The 0-1. Drilled toward the gap in left center field. It's down. It goes to the wall. Hunter coming to third base. They're going to try and score him. Torrey rounding third, coming home. The throw is not in time. Cabrera with a double and an RBI. The Tigers come storming right back and regain the lead.
It's a sinker ball that gets a little bit too much play, and Miggy pulls his hands in nicely, and that sound coming off Miggy's bat was a loud one. And by the time Schaefer got there and got the ball to Nunez, Torrey Hunter was getting to third and rounding third and able to score with a slide. And Miggy cruising into second with his 47th two-bagger of the year.
And his red-hot September continues. It's his 103rd RBI of the season. Came in batting .441 this month. Torrey trying to catch his breath. Ball one.
11 straight seasons Miguel Cabrera has gone over 100 RBIs. 11 straight.
Well, we mentioned earlier Victor's next RBI, and he'll join the 100 run driven in party here this year. He's got 99. He's got a chance to join Cabrera right here.
And so far, all the damage the Tigers have done here tonight has been after two were out. And two were out in the first inning, and Kyle Gibson gave up 2 runs, and he got 2 outs here before giving up 2 more.
Ball low and away. And now Martinez has run the count to 3-0. J.D. Martinez on deck. And this whole threat started with a leadoff walk to the number 8 hitter, Andrew Romine. Here's ball 4. So Martinez takes his walk. Second time he has walked in this game. He's going to bring Rick Anderson out again. Well, as they talk about it on the mound, we tell you September 25th is halfway to St. Patrick's Day. The Tigers battle the Minnesota Twins at 7:08. First 10,000 fans receive a green Tigers hat. For tickets, visit tigers.com or simply call 866-66-TIGER. So neither starting pitcher today apparently is comfortable pitching with the lead. And there is activity now in the Minnesota bullpen, so they're not going to wait around a whole lot longer. Lester Olivares warming up. Sails outside, 1-0. Well, Martinez had the 2-out RBI single. That was back in the first. And J.D. now is 76 driven in this year. In there for a strike, 1-1. Cal Gibson, 26 years of age. He pitched his college ball in Missouri. Fouled off and plate 1-2. Missouri over the past couple of years has produced quite a few big league pitchers. Of course, their own Max Scherzer went to Mizzou. You got Gibson, you got Crow in Kansas City, you got Nick Tepish, who went to Mizzou. He's from Texas. Max.
All hard throwers, too.
And that Stites kid in Arizona that we saw earlier this year.
Right.
Matt Stites.
He threw hard, too.
Yeah. So they all fit that bill. 1-2 is strike 3 called on the outer edge. And J.D. knew it. That'll end the inning. However, the Tigers have retaking the lead, a 2-run frame. Torrey Hunter an RBI single. Miguel Cabrera doubles in another. The Tigers have the lead. Torrey is oxygen. 3 as we go to the bottom of the second here at Target Field. Final game in this 3-game set. Each team has a win. And Jordan Schaefer leads it off. Schaefer, then Santana, then Dozier. The speed of Schaefer forcing Castellanos to the grass in third. And it's in there for a strike. Schaefer batting .300. Inside, and the count evens at 1. Bryce gave up a triple, a single, and then a walk. The first 3 men he faced in the first. Later in the inning, Plouffe knocked one in. Suzuki knocked one in. Now the 1-1. Drilled foul. 1-2 on Schaefer. Speed is the name of his game. Originally a prospect with the Atlanta Braves. August 3rd, he was placed on the waiver wire and picked up by Minnesota. They've got some guys now to play that center field position. I mean, Schaefer's kind of in the mix. They got Hicks. They got the kid Buxton, who's their prized prospect.
Yeah, they've got a couple of pieces that they might want to trade in the future and to get themselves some starting pitching.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's the one thing that Minnesota does need going into the 2015 season. They need a big arm out there, a guy that's going to go out there every 5th day and give them a legitimate chance of winning the game. And somebody that has a track record of pitching 200 innings per season.
Fouled back 2-2. The count stays on Schaefer.
Yeah, but I don't know if their payroll will allow them to go out and get a couple of the big guys that are going to be out this year. That would be Max or John Lester or big game James Shields.
Well, we saw what getting Shields did for Kansas City. He immediately became the ace of their staff. And another foul back to the screen. 2-2 on Schaefer. Santana to follow, and then Dozier. Bryce this year has been really good on the road, despite the fact that he gave up 3 first-inning runs here. His ERA on the road this season, 2.65. Fly ball in the air to right center field. Davis is on the move. Rajay still going back. 1 out. It's game break time. Back to the studio we go. Justin White.
Center fielder, number 39, Felix Santana.
All right, Justin, thanks. And the White Sox have Chris Sale on the hill tonight.
Which means the Kansas City Royals have got their work cut out for them.
Sale might already have enough to win that game. As dominant as he has been this year. Santana had a triple in the first and then scored a run. In there for a strike. He came in batting .365 against Detroit pitching. One is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Danny Santana. Two and 2. Minnesota has the Indians coming to town over the weekend, and then Arizona comes in next week here to close out their home schedule. Little interleague play deep in the season. Swing and a miss, and Santana out on strikes. 2 outs. Second strikeout for Price. That'll bring up Dozier. Whatever way you look at it, the Twins certainly will have their say in who wins the Central, even though it will not be them. They, of course, are playing the Tigers here and then finish out the series, or the season, with a 4-game series in Detroit next week.
From an offensive standpoint, they've been better against the Tigers than they've been against any other team in the big leagues this year. They've averaged over 6 runs per game in the prior 14 meetings against the two in 2014.
Fouled off at home plate by Dozier. Dozier now has scored 103 runs this year. There's only one guy in the American League that has scored more, and that would be Mike Trout, who leads the league at 109. Trout and the Angels trying to win the West. Their magic number is, I believe, 2 or 3. But they're real close to clinching out there. That's outside. 2-1 on Dozier. Outside, 3-1. Price already now at 44. And first inning, he faced 8 men. The Twins worked him over pretty good. Outside, another walk. 2-out base runner. Something the Twins have done a lot of this year. They are second in the American League in base on balls. Only the Athletics have won more. Here's Joe Mauer, who had a base on balls in the first. Mauer in the series, 4 RBIs, couple of hits. He has Dozier at first base, who has 21 steals this year. And Dozier has said he's become a much better base stealer because of his coach Paul Molitor, who was a terrific base stealer in his day. And of course, Paul Molitor stole over 500 bags in his career.
Paul Molitor has some great base running instincts.
And that's the one thing he's worked with Dozier on, and the rest of their base runners, reading the pitcher. I guess instincts is something you're born with, but you can improve on looking for cues from the pitcher. Dozier has been able to improve on that aspect, and he's got 21 this year. Here's the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, I was wrong. Chris Sale's going to need more than just the one. The Royals have taken a 3-1 lead on a home run by Lorenzo Cain. That game in the bottom of the 3rd in Kansas City. 3-0 pitch. That's it for a strike. 3-1. Waiting on deck, Kenny Vargas. comes pitch number 50 in this ball game already for David Price, who is used to going deep into ball games, but the pitch count is up early in this one. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Kinsler to the grass on the backhand, throws him out. And that'll take care of the Twins here in the second. Let's go to the third. Tigers up by a run. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank and part of Detroit's and community since 1849. By Ram Trucks. Come in and get a great deal during Ram Truck Month going on now. And by Maxwell House Coffee. Good to the last drop. All kinds of good eats here at the ballpark. Tigers and the Twins are headed down to the top of the third in a 4-3 ball game. Tigers have the lead. Castellanos leads it off, then Holiday, then Romine. And it's in there for a strike. Castellanos a single with 2 outs in the first and not getting a run. Kyle Gibson has been roughed up first couple of innings. That's hit hard to the shortstop. It knocks down Nunez from the seat of his pants. He throws him out. Literally knocked him over.
It sure did. That ball was scalded by Nick Castellanos. And once Nunez got back on his heels, he just simply fell down and threw a one-hopper over to Joe Mauer.
Because he doesn't have time to get up, does he?
No.
1 out. Here's Brian Holiday. Holiday tapped back to the mound his first time up, 0 for 1. 2 for 8 in the series. And he looks at a strike. 1-1. Again, Alex Avila unable to go today. We'll have another day off tomorrow. The team has a day off tomorrow. And we'll see what happens on Friday night.
And there's one more look at the play by Nunez, the shortstop. Like he closed his eyes too.
He was starting to sit down before it got to him.
He closed his eyes and he put his head down and the ball went in the glove.
Now the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Holiday not so sure. Time for another game break. Let's go back to the studio. Justin White. No doubt. Thanks, Justin. That is gobbled up by the shortstop, Nunez. Romine is out. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning. On our way to the bottom of the third. All around baseball, we remember the great Roberto Clemente and celebrate his contributions on and off the field during the 13th annual Roberto Clemente Day. The bases are adorned here with the Roberto Clemente Day plaque. And, well, what a great player he was. 3,000 hits. Played 18 years all in the big leagues with the Pirates.
Great right fielder. Great hitter. Outstanding base runner, you name it. Roberto can do it.
Great humanitarian, too. There's a strike called as David Price goes back to the hill.
That may be more important than all of them.
Kenny Vargas leads it off, then Trevor Plouffe and Kurt Suzuki in a 4-3 game. Tigers have the lead here tonight as Vargas takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Price has walked a couple in this game. He struck Vargas out in the first. Foul back. 1-2. David able to shake off that 3-run first inning. Here's the 1-2. Popped him up. Heading back to the seats. He'll get back out of play. A couple of rows deep. The Tigers nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award is Justin Verlander for 2014. And that award is going to be handed out. Every team has a representative, but each team picks out a rep for his positive contributions on and off the field. The Tigers representative this year, Justin Verlander. Chopped foul behind the play. 1-2 the count stays. Of course, JV has done a lot for veterans. He hosts them every time he pitches at Comerica Park in a suite. And he's going to be getting the baseball in Game 1 in that series beginning Friday night in Kansas City. Pulled foul again.
And David Price was able to strike out Vargas his first time up today. He threw him a cut fastball at 90 miles an hour, which caught the outside corner. Vargas did not pull the bat off his shoulder. Ball high. And this particular at bat, he has thrown Vargas everything. He's thrown him a couple of changeups. He's thrown him a breaking ball. He's elevated the fastball. And he's also thrown him that cutter. Vargas has been able to foul off a couple of the really good two-strike pitches that Price has thrown.
Bouncing ball right side, ranging left is Kinsler, spins and throws him out.
Something that Ian Kinsler has been able to do all year long. There are a lot of second basemen who do not get the kind of breaks that he gets. Therefore, they have to leave their feet on a play like this. But Ian Kinsler able to stay on his feet and pick it off the carpet, wheel and turn, and fire a strike to Miguel.
I guess the term "he got a good jump" is usually used for outfielders, but it can also be used for infielders.
That's right. And one of the things that Ian Kinsler did in the offseason, he lost about 15 pounds because he said he wanted that good agility back that he had once he was younger and playing for Texas.
Trevor Plouffe stands in. Single to not get a run in the first inning. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So that's an even 60 now for David Price, and we're only in the 3rd. Here they are by inning. You saw the 28 pitch first, which kind of set the tone for this start. Fouled away. 1-2 on Plouffe. Suzuki waiting on deck. Bouncing ball back up the middle. That'll get into center field. So Plouffe is 2 for 2. Well, it is time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Tiger on the board now with only 1 gone. Here is Suzuki. RBI double in the first for Suzuki. Really, the Twins had a chance to pile up some runs. They had 2nd and 3rd, 3 runs in, only 1 out, and they settled for 3. That is ripped down the left field line, foul.
It really doesn't matter what David Price continues to throw on the first pitch to any of these Minnesota Twins hitters. They are up there swinging. And that was an off-speed pitch there that Suzuki got out in front of.
Away. Remember when Suzuki played for the Athletics? He used to wear those puka shells.
I do remember that.
He has given them up apparently. That was kind of his signature.
It was.
He was born in Hawaii. 5'11", 233. He's 30 years old now. He lives in California in the offseason. Wailuku, Hawaii. Swing and a miss. Price strikes him out.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it's brought to you by Xfinity. And that last fastball, 4-seam variety at 95 miles an hour, thrown right by Suzuki. But the top fastball so far tonight for David Price, 96.
So now with 2 gone, here is Eduardo Nunez. Former New York Yankee. In fact, Nunez began the year with the Yankees and then was traded to Minnesota in early April. He's been with the Twins since. Fouled away. 1-1.
And David Price already with 253 strikeouts. If you take a look at strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher since the beginning of the 2004 season, Randy Johnson leads that list, 290. Johan Santana on the list. CC Sabathia and Clayton Kershaw.
Bouncing ball right side again. Kinsler cruising over to make the play. That'll end the inning. No runs. They get a hit. Lead man. 3 in the books. You're at Target Field. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. We have the meats. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. A fast and furious start to this one here tonight. Miguel Cabrera's had a nice ball game. Torrey Hunter as well. The Tigers out to a 4-3 lead. And Kyle Gibson goes back to the mound facing the number 9 hitter Rajai Davis. Davis, then Kinsler, and then Hunter here in the top of the 4th. Wave and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rajai. Hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield his first time up. The Dozier made a nice play on.
Yeah, it looked like that ball was going to get through the infield. And Romine, who had walked, was on the move. It was a hit and run.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Davis is 0 for 8 in the series. The 2-1 pitch. Tap foul. 2-2 on Rajai. Gibson, a former first rounder of the Minnesota Twins back in 2009. We mentioned he went to Mizzou. In that same draft, Mike Trout was selected and was actually selected after Kyle Gibson 3 picks later. Here's the 2-2 offering. Got him. Strike 3. Rajai caught looking. 1 out. Gibson has another punch out.
That is now 3 strikeouts for Kyle Gibson in this game, and all 3 have come on this exact same pitch. Swing back fastball, and all 3 have been looking.
Now Kinsler, 0 for 2, pop-up ground out. That one swings back in for strike 1. Ian now 1 for 11 in the series, hitting .275 this year. Here's the 0-1. Tap right in front of the plate. Suzuki will handle it. That is a fair ball. They'll throw him out. So the struggles continue for Ian. He is 0 for 3 in this game. 2 outs for Torrey Hunter.
Right fielder, Torrey Hunter.
Well, it's been a while since Torrey has played here in Minnesota, but it seems like every time we come back, his eyes light up. Still has a lot of friends here. He'll send a ground ball to second. It's going to be an easy inning for Gibson. 4-3 on the ground out. 1-2-3 go the Tigers.
In the very first inning, 3 of the 4 hits were on pitches that were outside. That was the only one that was inside. It was barreled up by Brian Dozier, but everything else, whether it be the changeup that was hit by Suzuki and Cruz or the triple that was hit by Santana, that ball was away as well. He has since settled in very nicely.
And that's good news because the pitch count was elevated early in this game. Price will go back to work now as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Tigers nursing a 1-run lead. Just look at the numbers on Dave. 3 strikeouts, a couple of base on balls. First pitch is up high to Aaron Hicks. Hicks and then Schaefer and then Santana. Ball missing outside. Run the count 2-0. That's going to be 70 now for Price. Missed again. 3-0 the count. Waiting on deck, Jordan Schaefer, the number 9 hitter. Missed it low. It'll be a 4-pitch walk for Aaron Hicks. 3rd walk of the game now for Price. Tickets for potential American League Division Series games are on sale now. Guaranteed tickets for all potential Tigers postseason games by simply placing a 2015 season ticket deposit. Visit Tigers.com for more details. And hopefully this ball club headed for another exciting October. Won't want to be left out of the action.
And Schaefer already has 5 sacrifice bunts this year. And he might be up there doing just that against the left-hander David Price.
Castellanos weighing in 3rd. He does show bunt, and it's low 1-0.
David Price does not have the really good command that he usually has. He has thrown a total of a lot of pitches in this game, and a lot of them have missed the strike zone.
Schaefer fly to center field his first time up. Price in his last start was awfully good against Cleveland. Gave up just the 1 run as he pitched deep into the game. He went 7 2/3. Didn't walk anybody in that game and struck out 7. But tonight a bit of a different story. 3 walks already. That's in for a strike. 1-1 on Schaefer. Fouled away, 1-2. Well, here you go. Last 5 starts, a total of 4 walks. Tonight, 3 already. And at the top of the broadcast tonight, we're talking about his impeccable control, right, and command. He has not been there quite yet tonight. And Hicks back in there. There is Santana, the top of the order. He's waiting on deck. He's had a really good series. Here's the 1-2. Schaefer, a good job of fighting that one off. 94 in on his hands. David Price came in really in the month of September, doing some of his best work. Career ERA of 3.02 down the stretch. Gave up 3 early runs in this one here tonight, all in the first inning. Here's the 1-2, and it's fouled away again, so they continue to drive that pitch count up.
It's a pesky offensive squad, at least against Tigers pitching. A couple of weeks ago when the Tigers were here, Ron Gardenhire said, we don't look at ourselves as a spoiler, but we're going to irritate some people down the stretch.
They were a major irritant last night. And they continue to be tonight as well as you look at some of the numbers on the Twins offense. Major league ranks, we talk about the base on balls. They do that quite a bit. And again the 1-2. Bounce again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, this pace is going to be extremely difficult for Price to get deep into this contest. He's close to the 80 plateau now. We're just in the 4th inning.
Yeah, he's pitched at least 8 innings in 12 of his last 18 starts. It's going to be a stretch for him to get there tonight.
Missed low and inside, and now the count is 3-2. Leadoff walk to Hicks. Brad Austin was saying before the game today, a lot of the durability of David Price due to the fact that he is one of the hardest working pitchers and players he has ever been around.
Yeah, I heard him say that today.
And he's been around some of those great players in Houston.
Brad says he has a hard time beating David Price to the ballpark. And most managers get to the ballpark around noon every day.
Really early. Now Price has his catcher walk out to the hill. David had that reputation even before the Tigers got him, going deep into games, 7, 8, 9 innings. Three and two on the number 9 hitter, Jordan Schaefer. Runner goes, and it's popped up foul back out of play.
And Ron Gardner showing a lot of confidence in Jordan Schaefer, allowing Hicks to take off from first base on the 3-2 pitch.
This time Hicks will draw a throw.
David Price has been with the team since the end of July, but this is the first time that Brian Holiday has caught him. Avila has caught the majority of his starts. Brian McCann caught him once. First time tonight for Holiday. James Holiday.
Here's the 3-2.
We'll get it right.
Brian Holiday. You're thinking of James McCann. You've mixed them both.
I sure did.
Brian has done a really good job in Avila's stead, and as we mentioned, don't know if Avila will be back on Friday night, but hopefully that'll be the case. He'll have the off day tomorrow. And in the meantime, Holiday has provided steady backup. 3-2. Runner goes again. Popped up right side of the infield. Kinsler backs up, and Hicks has to retreat. One gone.
Well, we talked about Danny Santana and the fact that he's done a lot of damage this year against the Tigers. He tripled earlier today. It was his 7th triple of the year. But really, this is what he does. He slaps the ball the other way. He slaps the ball up the middle. When he's on first, he steals second. He steals third. He also made a nice play in center field. We told you he's starting to acquit himself nicely out there, throwing out Kinsler, trying to stretch a single into a double last night.
And Santana in this game, a triple in the first inning. He scored a run. He's batting a very healthy .321.
That was a 10-pitch at bat by Jordan Schaefer.
It resulted in an out, but it certainly put a dent into the pitch count. Santana now has hit safely in his last 16 consecutive games here at Target Field. 5 hits in this series versus Detroit pitching. And the runner goes. Good jump to Holiday's throw. Not going to be close thanks to a big jump.
You were talking about Paul Molitor, their first base coach, and obviously he must have detected something in the Price delivery which allowed Hicks to get that big a jump. Brian Holiday really had no chance at throwing him out.
Molitor in his day was known as one of those guys that just was kind of a student of stealing bases, reading pitchers, knowing when to run.
It's a little different now. A lot of guys have a lot more video to study pitchers, but back in his day, they really didn't have that much video.
Ground ball left side, ranging right. Romine, his throw is in time. Santana's out. Runner holds at second. That'll leave it up to Dozier. That's a play we've seen Romine make over and over again. He just simply slides over his enough arm strength and complete the play.
Fundamentally sound would be a nice definition for Romine. Gets in front of everything. Straight over the top with his throws to first base. Not a lot of flash.
So now Dozier, who knocked in a run in the first inning, trying to tie it up with 2 outs, and he looks at ball 1. Dozier a single and a walk, so he's been on base twice. In fact, he has had 4 walks in this series. No strikes. Twins done a pretty good job most of the night of getting themselves in decent hitting counts. Drilled but foul down the left field line. He turned out a 2-0 pitch and hammered it.
Dozier, he is a dead pull hitter. Most of his damage is done to the pull field. The majority of his home runs and the majority of his big hits all to left field. And there you have it. Only 10 base hits this year. The opposite way for Brian Dozier. It's a major reason why that batting average is very, very low.
The ground ball foul. 2-2 on Dozier. But guys like Dozier that pull the ball a lot are any really good pull hitter. I assume it just takes a conscious effort to try and hit the ball the other way to become a more complete hitter.
That and confidence, maturation process, not being afraid to hit the 2 strikes.
Strike 3. Price gets him looking. Dozier is out and the threat is over.
Love that pitch. He's got to do more of that.
4 strikeouts for David Price. No runs, a walk, a man stranded. We'll go to the 5th inning. Ball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. And Chevy Truck Month, where great deals and great trucks come together at your Chevy dealer. Nice night here for baseball in Minneapolis. Tigers and the Twins wrapping up this series. It's another tight one. 4-3 is our score. The Tigers have the lead as we go to the 5th. Cabrera, Martinez facing the right-handed offerings of Kyle Gibson. Good night so far for Mickey. Single, double RBI. And Cabrera looks at a ball outside. 1-1.
It looks like Miguel looking for that 2-seam fastball inside by Gibson. on that last approach, he opened up the front side of his body, an indication that a hitter might be looking for something inside.
Here's the 1-1. 2-1.
Mickey looks dialed in here tonight.
Had a single with 2 outs in the second. That started the scoring chance for the Tigers. He would end up getting 2. He doubled in a run in the second. Gibson has not had good luck against Cabrera tonight. The 2-1 pitch. Drill to left, another base hit. 3 for 3 for Cabrera. He can't get him out. Leadoff man on.
Mickey came in hitting 400 against Gibson. Small sampling, but still hitting 400 against him.
Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Martinez, well, he has walked twice.
Yeah, he's pitched around him the first 2 times up today. He does not have the luxury of doing that this time.
0-1.
A nice little breaking ball there thrown by Gibson to get strike 1.
.379 in the month of September for Victor Martinez. And is in there for a strike. 0-2. Thought it looked a little high.
Yeah, somebody's barking from the Tigers dugout as well.
Cabrera, leadoff single. We're in the 5th inning, 1-run game. Line to right field, base hit. That'll send Cabrera to second base.
Hitting with 2 strikes is no problem for Victor Martinez. Once you get ahead of him, you still have to have a legitimate put-away pitch to strike him out. And not a very good 0-2 pitch there thrown by Kyle Gibson. A little spinning breaking ball ripped right between the first and second baseman on the right side of the infield.
Here's what you're talking about right here. How about this? 326 with 2 strikes, while the league average is 178.
That's sick.
It's just almost like it's not true, but it is. Here's JD. On the ground, the shortstop. There's 1. Dozier's relay. There's 2. Hard hit ball, but right at Nunez.
And Nunez thought about it. He might have been able to turn a triple play somehow, some way with the runners.
Leave a man at third with 2 gone.
Ball scalded by JD Martinez.
Come on, leave out here now. Here we go.
Here's Castellanos.
Even the outs the Tigers have made against Gibson have been loud outs.
And the shortstop Nunez had some hard hit balls hit at him.
Chest protection.
Castellanos. Big wave and a miss, 0-1. Nick singled in a run in the first, bounced out in the 3rd inning. Gibson will throw from the windup with a runner at 3rd. Fouled off, and now 0-2. .31 doubles this year for Castellanos and 61 RBIs now. Both numbers good for 2nd among rookies in the American League. There is Lester Oliveros again warming up. He was up earlier in the game. That one just missed. And the way Gibson was pitching early on in this game, didn't really think he had a shot to be around here in the 5th, but he's at 75 total now. blocked by Suzuki. 2-2. Leadoff singles, but a double play ball has left Cabrera at third with 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Missed the outside corner, and again Gibson was on his way back to the dugout.
It looks like Castellanos has gone to his 2-strike approach, where he spreads out. He doesn't pick up that left foot, and that's one of the ways that he can watch a pitch that's that close and take it and not have it called a strike. He won't pick that left foot up. It'll stay on the ground.
Fly ball, center field. Santana's under it, and the threat is over. No runs, couple of hits, 1 man left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Four to 3, Tigers have the lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Target Field. Joe Mauer will start things off, and really over the course of his career, Ron, he's been a tough out.
You know what? And he's not having a good year offensively this season, but whenever the Tigers show up, as they did here a couple of nights ago, he drove in 4 big runs in a game that was started by Max. On base percentages over 400, lots of multi-hit games, and he's driven in a lot of runs against Tigers pitching.
And he'll get things started now. It'll be Mauer, Vargas, and Plouffe here in the bottom of the 5th. David Price goes back to work, and there is strike 1 to start the inning. Mauer walked and scored a run in the 1st. Swing and a miss.
David Price will be on the doorstep. 100 pitches thrown here in the 5th inning. And that does not happen very often when Price is on the mound.
No, that is typically the 7th or 8th inning. But not tonight. And Mauer takes strike 3. He carved him up on 3 pitches.
Nice cut fastball that Mauer couldn't pull the trigger on.
Five strikeouts now for Price. Here's Kenny Vargas. Swing and a miss. Vargas over 2. Kinsler made a nice play on it back at third. Interesting looking prospect. He's only 24 years old. Making the jump to AA or from AA to the big leagues seems to be no problem so far for Vargas.
The biggest test, as it is for most young hitters, is second time through the league. And once the opposing pitchers have really gotten an opportunity to see you. Right now he's up there swinging. He doesn't walk very often. He puts the ball in play quite often. He swings a lot.
Yesterday we gave you the walk numbers on Vargas. They're extremely low. Only 4 walks in 182 at bats. Drives that one over the glove of Kinsler, who tried to steal another hit away from him.
That is just a really nice piece of hitting there by Vargas. It's an 0-2 pitch, and he simply stays with and hits the opposite way.
Hey, this October history will be made as baseball's postseason moves to America's new sports network. Fox Sports 1 is your new home for baseball's National League Division and Championship Series. It all begins this October. Tying run on again now for Minnesota. Twins have their 6th hit of the ball game. Here is Trevor Plouffe.
He is singled up the middle on both of his at-bats today.
Strike 1. Plouffe has an RBI as well. Fastball to 93, right at the belt, and he threw it by. Doubles this year for Trevor Plouffe. It's the most ever by a Twins third baseman. Now they go 2, and he just missed painting the outside corner. Suzuki on deck. Price surrendered 3 first-inning runs, but nothing but zeros since. Drill toward left field. Martinez on the move. JD runs it down. And scampering back to first, Kenny Vargas. 2 outs. And it'll be an even 100 now for David Price.
A couple of stressful innings, the first and the second. Combined 50 pitches thrown by Price.
Everything is still quiet in the Detroit bullpen. Suzuki, RBI 2-base hit in the first inning. Yank foul.
We've seen quite a few of the right-handed batters in Minnesota's order do that tonight against Price. Everybody's dialed up for the 95-mile-per-hour fastball on the first pitch, and rightfully so. But when he does throw that breaking ball, the changeup, we've seen Dozier, we've seen Suzuki, we've seen Plouffe. All those guys pull that ball foul.
Strike call.
They're not swinging at that inside fastball because they're not expecting that pitch from Price. And Price very seldom does pitch inside. He's thrown more inside here tonight than he has in any of his previous starts as a Tiger.
Lifted back out of play. I was talking to Bert Blyleven, the Hall of Famer and the color analyst here in Minnesota before the game. He said Dot Drysdale taught him that A, you can't be afraid to go inside, but B, you can't be afraid to double up inside too. And he feels that most pitchers in this league don't want to double up inside.
That's a lost art these days.
There's Bert. Has he lit your shoes on fire yet in this trip?
Nope, he hadn't circled me either.
Here's the 0-2. Ground ball short. Routine there for Romine. They'll get the force and the side retired. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. David Price pitches through 5. Go to the 6th. The great Roberto Clemente and celebrate his contributions on and off the field during the 13th annual Roberto Clemente Day. And rather wasn't a whole lot of the baseball field that Clemente couldn't do.
Nope, he had a great throwing arm from right field. I mean, he could throw it on a clothesline, a home plate, or third base. Very aggressive running out of the batter's box, stretching singles into doubles. And you brought this up earlier. Just a great humanitarian.
And he finished with 3,000 hits in his career. All 18 seasons spent with the Pittsburgh Pirates in the National League. Here's Brian Holliday to start it off, and he ropes with the first one foul down the left field line. Holliday, Romine, Davis in the Tigers' 6th.
And Gibson gave up 2 runs to the Tigers in the first and the second. But since then, he's settled in very nicely here this evening.
At one point retiring 7 in a row. Then he gave up back-to-back hits in the 5th, but got a big double play ball. Holliday is 0 for 2. 1-1 is bunted, or attempted to be bunted.
It's a great idea. And by Holliday, a lot of room down at third base given to him by Trevor Plouffe. And he's already bunted for at least a couple of hits this year.
Bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup facing Kyle Gibson, the 26-year-old Indiana native. Romine on deck. Tigers have 4 runs, 7 hits this evening. 3 runs, 6 hits for Minnesota. Now the 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. Plouffe off to his left. Holliday out by a step, 1 gone. And Brian now 0 for 3. It'll bring up Andrew Romine.
The shortstop, Andrew Romine.
Walking a run scored tonight for Romine. Gives a ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. As we get later into this ball game now, they're starting to loosen up. Nobody warming up, but they're stretching.
Well, they know that David Price is already going over the century mark. That at least that would be on the Tigers side. So Brad Austin is going to need quite a few outs out of that bullpen tonight.
With a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's Rajai Davis waiting on deck. Romine in that first game had a double, a 2-run single, and finished with 3 hits in game 1 of the series. Waiting on the 2-2 offering. High, 3-2. Five straight starts now for Romine at that shortstop position. Tap right in front of the plate. Suzuki comes charging out. Andrew has gone 2 away.
It's a nice job here by Suzuki coming from behind the plate, understanding that you can't take a peek at where the runner is. You have to concentrate on picking the ball up first, which he did, and once you pick it up, and plenty of time to throw out the base runner. So many times you'll see the catcher with the pitcher, they'll reach down for those swinging bunts, and they'll take a look to see where that base runner is, and then they don't pick it up cleanly.
They'll get back into the seats 0-1. Davis ground out strikeout. Rajai hitless in the series, 0 for 9. That sinks low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gibson now has reached 90 in the game, 55 strikes for Minnesota. Strike called on Davis.
You can see why Gibson gets so many ground balls. Outstanding sinker. A lot of late life on that pitch.
That'll bounce in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Should Davis reach back up to the top of the order, Kinsler. And now the 2-2. Bouncing ball slowly back to the mound. Going to have to hurry. The throw. Not in time. Bauer tried to steal that down at first base, but Jim Joyce wasn't by it.
And Gibson slipped just as he was getting to that swinging bunt by Rajai Davis, and obviously he had to hurry to get the ball to Mauer, and because he slipped, he really couldn't get anything on his throw, and Rajai able to beat it. Slipped right there.
Ron Gardenhire buying some time now. We'll see if he wants to challenge. Close.
It's a nice shot there. Rajai Davis with that left foot hitting the front part of the bag. If he is able to get a base hit out of this and they don't challenge him, it's not overturned, that'll be the reason why he hit the front part of the bag.
So they're going to give it a shot here. The Twins will challenge. Jim Joyce will go over, put the headsets on. Really close play at first base. Right now the call on the field is infield single, but the Twins are challenging here.
It would almost be a disservice to the umpire to change a call like that, as close as that play was. Who called it with the naked eye?
Right there, right on the play. Here's another look at it. Davis's foot touches the bag right there. This one may take a little bit to decide on. Davis at first base, watching the big board here at the ballpark.
Most of the looks appear that Davis is safe, but there is one look that we just showed you where it appeared that the ball did get in the glove of Mauer just before the left foot got on the bag for Rajat.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There was one look that may have indicated it just beat him. Is it enough for the command center now to call him out? Right now the call is safe. Ball is in right there, and then oh, that's just really close. So as we anticipated, this one is taking a couple of minutes here. And they've got their decision. He is out at first base. So that'll end the inning. And the Tigers will go 1-2-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Target Field. It's still 4-3 Detroit. Into a one-run lead. First inning offense combined for the two teams, 5 runs, 7 hits, 9 base runners. It's been another big night for Miguel, hasn't it? Had a double, couple of singles, RBI. He just continues to get it done. David Price has kind of settled in. So we'll see if he continues to stay settled in as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Price back out there. Nunez leads it off and looks at strike 1. Nunez over 2, couple of ground balls. 1 to second, 1 to third. And a bounce in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Price ready with a 1-1. Bouncing ball to second. Kinsler has it there. It's another ground ball out for Nunez. He is 0 for 3. More action in the Tigers, or I should say some action in the Tigers bullpen now for the first time. Albuquerque. Kyle Ryan warming up. Here's Aaron Hicks. Hicks had a walk, stole a base back in the fourth, but later was stranded. Ball one. So if you're wondering about Price tonight and the most he has thrown in terms of pitches in any start this year, 120, and that was with Tampa. And coming in, David was leading the major leagues with 16 starts of 8 or more innings. He's done it 16 times this year. And right now he is in the 6th. That's likely not going to happen tonight. Drill to right center field. That's going to get down. Base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Davis cuts it off. Hicks on his way to second. He is in with a double. And the tying run now in scoring position.
Well, Hicks got himself in that predictable fastball count, 2 balls, no strikes, and ripped it into the gap. But then he knew he could get to second base because once Rajai Davis got the ball in his glove, it took him about 4 or 5 steps and before he could gather himself and stop. And by him taking that much time, easy double for Hicks. And David Price only 13 of 26 in first pitch strikes today. That really gives you an idea of how much he's kind of struggled today with his control.
Schaefer hits one in the air to center. Davis going over, and Rajai runs it down. Runner will tag. Hicks coming to third. He'll dive in safely.
Good base running by Hicks. That ball appeared to be knuckling as well to Rajai Davis. Hicks saw this ball was going to be caught by Rajai. He went about 3 or 4 steps toward third. Then he got back to second to tag up to get to third with just 1 out.
That'll bring up Santana now.
Well, Price needs a strikeout here.
Santana tripled in his first at bat. And he lines one to left field. That's going to drop, base hit, and score the run. A 2-out hit. Santana going to second. There's a play. He's safe.
And they've been aggressive today.
What a series for Danny Santana. Double to go with his triple tonight. Pair of 2-baggers here in the 6th to tie it up.
He jumps on the first pitch. It's a cut fastball that's inside, just pulls his hands in nicely, and JD Martinez will get there, but not prevent Santana from getting a double. Not with his speed.
That's going to be it for David Price. He will depart the scene. Ball side windows pitching change here in Minnesota. We'll be back. This ball game, it is 4-4 now as we play here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
And when you put that Tigers gear on, boy, it's pretty good bet you're going to get in that fan photo, isn't it?
That's probably the quickest way to get on the fan photo, no question. Here's Al Albuquerque. He'll take over now out of the Detroit bullpen.
Lots of sliders thrown by Albuquerque. He's also done some very nice work on the road this season. His earned run average away from Comerica Park at 1.65.
So here is Dozier now trying to give the Twins the lead. He has an RBI single in this game plus a walk. 4 runs on 8 hits for the home team. 4-7-0 for the Tigers. This Albuquerque slider that misses outside. 1-0. Santana, the runner at second base. Ball high. 2 balls, no strikes. Joe Mauer is waiting on deck. Kyle Ryan was warming up earlier. He appears to be still throwing in the Detroit bullpen. There he is. Strike call. Ryan, you might recall, got that big double play in game 1 of the series in the 8th inning off the bat of Nunez.
Yeah, he threw 2 pitches in the game, and he skated out there with a W.
Whatever it takes. Here's the 2-1. High fly ball, left center field. That ball is hit well. Rajay on the run, still going back, looks up. It is off the top of the wall. 1 run scores. Dozier is on his way to third. It looks like he'll have a triple. That ball hit off the top of the left field wall. And it's 5-4 Minnesota. He nearly hit it out.
He was up there sitting on a slider, and Albuquerque got a little bit too close to home plate and hit right off the top of the wall. And by the time Rajay Davis was able to pick it up and grab it off the wall, Dozier with a triple and another RBI for the Minnesota Twins.
And Gibson now has watched his teammates take the lead. It's 5-4 Minnesota. Albuquerque will face just 1 batter and depart. And Kyle Ryan coming in another pitching change for the Tigers. Courtesy of Wallside Windows. We'll be back. have taken the lead with 2 outs in the 6th inning on a ball that very nearly went out. Right off the top, and somehow it bounced back into play instead of going over the wall. And now Kyle Ryan comes on to get the final out here as Mauer steps in. 2-run inning for Minnesota. And Ryan delivers strike 1. Kyle was called up prior to the game on September the 2nd. Here's the 0-1. Mauer takes it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you can close the book on Price now. He gave up all 5 of the runs.
Runner at third base, Dozier, is the responsibility of Albuquerque.
And David had 2 starts this year against Minnesota where he just dominated them. 17 innings, 21 strikeouts. He was 2-0.
Here's a soft line drive, fair ball down the left field line. Classic Mauer there. That'll drive in another run, and he will cruise in his second with a double.
That is 4 doubles in this inning by Twins batters. And Joe just fought this one off, fighting it the other way, and for a double. Make that 3 doubles and a triple in this inning.
Didn't take much, but he kept it fair. Dozier scores. 2-run ball game now. That run belongs to Albuquerque. Kenny Vargas will be the batter. Vargas had a single at his last at bat.
Not as dangerous batting right-handed as he is left-handed. The batting average for Vargas about 100 points higher when he's batting left-handed.
Jim Johnson warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Vargas fouls it off on 1. 10 hits now for Minnesota. They have put together a pair of 3-run innings, 1 in the 1st and now 1 here in the 6th. Here's the 0-1. Vargas a single, a ground out, a strikeout in this game. Bouncing in, 2 balls, 1 strike. RBIs by Santana, Dozier, and Mauer. 3 doubles and a triple. Ground ball left side. Easy play there for Romine. That'll end the inning. Big inning though for Minnesota. They scored 3 times and they've taken a 6-4 lead.
the Twins have taken a 6-4 lead on the Tigers before the Tigers end up going to Kansas City to play the Royals. And we're thinking about standings, and that led to our little misstep talking about the Royals, because one of the neat little touches of Target Field is that they have flagpoles beyond center field with a flag for each team in the Central Division. There's the Central Division main flag, and then they're supposed to be lined up in order. The Tigers came to Minneapolis as the first place team in the division. Unfortunately, last night they had Kansas City in first. Tigers will go to Kansas City as the first place team, regardless of what happens here tonight and in KC. Mario, right?
All right, Keats, thanks very much. Well, we go to the 7th inning here in a 2-run game, and Kinsler is going to lead it off against the new pitcher, and that would be Ryan Presley for the Minnesota Twins.
And Presley has a pretty good ERA this year in the 20 games he's pitched in. A 2.66 ERA. The opponent's hitting just 2.44 against Ryan.
Tapper to the shortstop. Nunez has it, and Kinsler is out, 1 away. He now is 0 for 4. It's going to bring up Torrey Hunter. So the starter, Gibson, is able to go 6 in this contest.
Still plenty of time for the Tigers to put a couple of quality at-bats together to get back in this game.
And there for a strike. Torrey has some words now for Quinn Walcott.
And not only Torrey, but the entire Tigers dugout.
Walcott looking into the Tiger dugout, telling him to pipe down. Oh, 2. Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 lead, fell behind 3-2, went ahead 4-3, and now trail 6-4. Hunter had an RBI single back in the second. Right back up the middle, and past a diving Brian Dozier. So Torrey does it again, his second hit.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Miguel Cabrera must have had an idea that he was going to get some pitches on the inner third home plate, because all of his hits have gone to left field. He got a breaking ball first time up from the starter, Kyle Gibson. Then he got a 2-seamer inside, did the same thing. Last time up, Mickey with another breaking ball ripped to the pull field. So Mickey's been dialed in today against their starter, Kyle Gibson.
He'll continue to be dialed in here against Presley. He's 2 singles, double RBI. He's the tying run. 0-1.
Tough to catch up to that fastball above the belt buckle at 94 miles an hour.
.47 doubles down for Miguel on the season. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera has reached 50 in the double column only once in his career. That was with the Marlins back in 2006. He's gotten close to the Tigers, 48 and 47 now. Drill to center field. On the move is Santana, still going back. It's over his head. Hunter coming to third base. They're going to stop him there, and Cabrera has another double, and what a night for Miguel.
He's killing the ball tonight.
Everything is just a missile off his bat. Second double tonight.
It's the third hit he's gotten tonight on a breaking ball. That breaking ball is away from Mickey. You can see the concentration is there, and the base is there as well. I'm talking about the legs. He must be feeling awfully good in his lower half tonight, because he's using his legs very well, and that's when Miguel is able to drive the ball the way he's driven it tonight.
So Cabrera adds to his double total. He has a bushel full of them this year, 48. Now the tying runs in scoring position for Victor Martinez. It's the 9th Tigers hit of the game. Bouncing ball to first. This will get a run in. No, it won't. Hunter going back, and now they got Miggy between second and third. They're going to tag him out.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. What happened?
Well, Torrey didn't go. Miggy assumed he was going to go. And there you have it.
And the inning is over. So the Tigers failed to score. Coming up, the Health Plus 7th inning stretch. Third base did not come home on that hard hit ground ball to first base, so the Tigers hit into a double play.
Well, typically when you see the first baseman playing where Mauer is playing right now, that gives you an indication anything on the ground, you can score. But Torrey Hunter did not come home, and without having a conversation with Torrey, I have no idea what he was thinking there, but he must have been thinking, had he gone home, then Mauer would have thrown home to get him out. But you can see Torrey a little indecisive here when the ball was hit. He took 2 steps that way, and then he broke it down. And by him breaking it down, Miguel Cabrera, who was on second, he assumed that Torrey was going to try to score there, and they were able to tag Miggy out for the double play.
Jim Johnson is the new pitcher now for the Tigers. And it appeared that ground ball, as soon as Mauer picked it up, he was headed straight to first base.
It did look that way. You're absolutely right.
So the Tigers have a chance to go by the wayside. Now Jim Johnson is on. He'll bring up, or the Twins will bring up Trevor Plouffe to start things off, and he looks at a ball inside.
The Tigers haven't really made many base running blunders here lately.
Plouffe, and then Suzuki and Nunez facing the veteran right-hander Johnson. It's outside, and the count rolls to 3 balls, 1 strike. Trevor Plouffe, a couple of singles. He has also knocked in a run in this ball game. Bouncer right back to the mound. Johnson able to flag it down. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. Double drove in a run back in the first. The Twins got 3 in the first and then nothing until they picked up 3 more in the 6th. Ball inside, 1-0. Just kind of a so-so start tonight for David Price. Settled in nicely until he gave those runs back in the 6th inning. Now Johnson ready with the 1-0. Soft ground ball to second. Kinsler has it there. It'll be the second out as Suzuki is retired. Hey, the most popular way to follow the September pennant races is with MLB.com and BAT, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB.TV game of the day, and more. Get it BAT for your smartphone or tablet at the App Store or visit MLB.com. 2-out chance now for Eduardo Nunez.
Yeah, nice little breaking ball there thrown by Jim Johnson at 79 miles an hour. He also has that real good sinker that'll run in on the right-hander, about 92 to 93.
0-2.
He's got a lot of late life on that pitch.
(6-4) Minnesota. We're in the bottom of the 7th. That one sails outside. 1-2 the count. Johnson following Ryan, who followed Albuquerque. Price knocked out of the game in the 6th. That's it for strike 3, and Johnson has a snappy 7th inning. 1-2-3 they go. On our way to the 8th. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
Trailing by a couple of runs in this contest, and J.D. Martinez, well, 7th inning or later, major league ranks this season. He's done major damage. A lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs. The slugging percentage is way up, and home run per at bat. And this is 7th inning or later, so he's gotten a ton of hits, but a lot of his hits have been big for the Tigers this year.
Yeah, Martinez will start things off here in the 8th. J.D., then Nick Castellanos and Brian Halladay. Tigers down by a couple, 6-4. They've been out hit by 1, 10-9. Ryan Presley came on in the 7th inning, wiggled out of that jam with some help for the Tigers. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball there by Presley. That first pitch, I can't believe he called that a strike. Is it 0-2 or 1-1?
Well, the scoreboard out here says 0-2. Let's see. It's a ball high. Umpire is not correcting it, so it must be 1-2. J.D. Martinez knocked into a double play in his last at bat. RBI single at his first at bat tonight. He's 1 for 3. Pulls that one on the ground and through. It's another hit for Martinez. So the Tigers coming right back. Leadoff single here in the 8th. That'll give the Tigers an even 10 hits.
Yeah, majority of the Tigers' hits today have come on breaking balls. It's another 1-2 breaking ball thrown by Presley to J.D. Martinez.
Hey, here we go. Hey, got it. Come on.
Well, J.D. now with 7 hits in this 3-game series. Castellanos fouls it back 0-1. Nick an RBI single. Ground out fly up his other 2 at bats. Did not play in the ball game last night. Castellanos back in there tonight. Here's the 0-1. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's activity in the Minnesota bullpen. Brian Dunsing is warming up along with Michael Tonkin. One and one on Nick Castellanos. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ryan Holiday due next, but it looks like Tyler Collins has moved to the on-deck circle. Little thump off the bench for the Tigers, left-handed batter. High fly ball, right center field. Ball is hit well. Santana going back to the wall, leaps and makes the catch. Danny Santana running down, and Castellanos just missed it.
And Santana ran a long way to get there, got to the wall, and knew exactly where he was before he had to take a little mini leap and to make that play.
So with 1 out, here is Collins to pinch hit for Holiday. Tyler last appeared in the game for the Tigers back on the 8th as a defensive replacement in the 9th inning in that game against the Royals. Back on the last homestand. He's the tying run at the plate right now. Collins looks at ball 1. First big league hit was way back in April against the Dodgers. It was an infield hit. He broke camp with the Tigers before being sent down. He shoots that one back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Martinez on his way to third, and he'll get there. Pinch hit single for Collins.
Really nice, quick, compact swing here by Collins. Not a lot of moving parts, and he drilled that ball right back through the middle. And good base running by J.D. Martinez, forcing the issue, going first to third on Danny Santana.
Stephen Moya now is going to pinch hit for Andrew Romine as Brad Ausmus goes deep into his bench. Back-to-back pinch hitters. See if the Twins want the lefty to come out of the bullpen here. Here goes Ron Gardenhire.
Brad Ausmus probably will counter as well, simply taking Moya down for someone else.
So the Tigers will face a new pitcher. All right, Justin, thank you. Here we are in the 8th inning, 1st and 3rd. The Tigers are threatening here with 1 out. Time runs are aboard. Eugenio Suarez will pinch hit now for Moya. And they will take on Brian Dunsing.
And Dunsing checks in with a .348 earned run average, 31 strikeouts, 20 base on balls. He has not been good in his last 8 games. His earned run average is approaching 10. And when you come off the bench as a pinch hitter, be ready for your first pitch fastball.
Good scoop behind the dish by Suzuki. 1 ball and no strikes. Leadoff single by Martinez. He's standing at 3rd. Tyler Collins a pinch hit single. In there for a strike. 1-1 on Suarez. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
And Dunsing really missed poorly with his location there. Suzuki, the catcher, wanted that ball inside, and he missed with his location outside, but he still got a swing and miss out of Suarez.
Suarez has lost most of his playing time to Romine. Big pinch hitting opportunity here. And the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Suarez caught looking. 2 outs. Back comes Ron Gardenhire.
And 92-mile-per-hour fastball on the inside black that Suarez couldn't pull the trigger on.
So Dunsing does his job. Twins go back in the bullpen. We'll be back. Couple of runs have runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Ron Gardenhire has gone right back to his bullpen. Michael Tonkin has come in now for the Twins.
And 6 2/3 innings so far logged this year by Tonkin in 21 games. And 15 strikeouts, 6 base on balls. 6 of the 20 inherited runners have scored against Tonkin.
Well, we know how well the Tigers have done this year in late situations. 7th inning on this month, they've been really good.
Yeah, they had a couple of hits in the 7th inning before hitting that double play. They had a couple more hits in this inning, and they've really been doing it all month long.
So Rajay Davis now. The runners at 1st and 3rd. There's Martinez. Collins, the pinch hitter, had a base hit as well. And Rajay checks his swing high, 1-0. Michael Tonkin replacing Dunsing.
And Rajay's number is much better this year, runners on base versus hitting with the bases empty.
Tries to bunt and lays it down foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Royals have just defeated Chicago and Chris Sale 6-2, so they're back to within a game now. The Tigers. Bouncing ball to second. Should get him out of the inning. Dozier throws him out. Run is over. No runs. Couple of hits. 2 left. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Target field. Got some changes for the Detroit Tigers. New catcher now is James McCann, so we'll pencil him in. The new shortstop Suarez, he'll stay in the game. Let's go to center field now, where Collins will take over. And Jim Johnson's still out there. He had a 1-2-3 7th and made it very quick too. There's a ball outside to Aaron Hicks. Hicks, then Schaefer, and then Santana. Tigers have out hit the Twins tonight, 11-10, but trailed by 2. There's a strike call. Hicks on base a couple of times tonight. Had a big double to get it started back in the 6th inning, and right now that is the difference in this game. A 3-run 6th. Slap foul back out of play. Just seemed tonight, Rob, like David Price just threw too many pitches early. Didn't have quite the command.
He did not. I mean, just for whatever reason, just not a good start for him. And he already had really 2 good starts against Minnesota this year. But today, with just 5 in the 3rd innings logged by David Price, well over 100 pitches.
Hicks is caught looking, and Johnson is looking awfully good. 4 up, 4 down.
He's already thrown some really good breaking balls in this game, but it's been that 2-seamer, anywhere from 92 to 94. That's been a good pitch for him tonight. And really, that's the pitch that allowed Johnson to have back-to-back 50 saves in 2012, 2013.
Here's Jordan Schaefer. A couple of flyouts and a pop-up. And Schaefer looks at a ball inside, 1-0. So when we get to the 9th, the Tigers will have the top of the order: Kinsler, Hunter, and Cabrera. And it's Johnson's job to make sure it's only a 2-run spread at that point. Bouncing ball to third, going to get by Castellanos to Suarez, and no play. Infield hit for Schaefer. How long before he's on the move?
And one first or second pitch, he'll be trying to get down to second base.
Jared Burton is warming up. The Twins are without Perkins, their closer, who gave it up last night. He's had some neck and shoulder soreness. Santana digs in. Each ball club now with 11 hits in the game. Another big night for Santana. We've said that a lot this year against the Tigers. Double, triple, 2 runs scored, RBI. Runner goes on the very first pitch. McCann double pumped, and his throw bounces in, stolen base.
And Schaefer picked a good pitch to run on. He ran on a breaking ball, and McCann, he just couldn't really get a good exchange, and I don't think he'd have thrown Schaefer out anyway.
Schaefer has his 15th steal. It's a big run, standing at second base now. Missed it low, 1-1. Johnson came on to the 7th. Tigers have used Ryan and Albuquerque out of the bullpen. They still have more action going. Buck Farmer is the right-hander. Phil Koch is the lefty. Kansas City a winner tonight. They beat Chicago 6-2.
They had 2 home runs tonight against Chris Sale.
Swing and a miss.
Escobar and Kane.
And they took it to Sale. Ventura picked up the win for KC. 1-2 on Danny Santana. Way inside, 2-2 the count. Santana, as it was, came in batting .365 against Detroit. He's added 2 more extra base hits tonight. Now Johnson with the 2-2. Fouled off. Pretty good this year. 321 runners in scoring position.
He will be a starter somewhere next year for the Minnesota Twins, whether it be in center field or whether it be at shortstop. He'll be their leadoff hitter.
Pulls that one right by the first baseman Cabrera into right field. That'll get a run in. And Santana gets it done one more time. His 3rd hit of the 9th. And his 2nd RBI as well.
That's a 2-seamer that just stays right around the belt buckle, and Santana usually tries to slap the ball the other way when batting left-handed, but he turned on that one. Was able to get it past the diving Miguel Cabrera.
That makes it a 3-run game now, 7-4.
Well, you wonder how long it's going to take before he's on the move. He has the green light. If you're Brad Ausmus and you are convinced that Santana is going to run, you might want to call for a pitch out here on the 1st or 2nd pitch, maybe help out McCann a little bit.
Johnson allowed the hit to Schaefer. He promptly stole second base, which turned out to be huge in this inning. Another single by Santana scored him. Baldo. Brian Dozier's had a nice night. Single, walk, triple. The 1-0 in for a strike. 1-1. Dozier's been on base 6 times in this series.
And Brad Ausmus is controlling the running game right now. He is telling Ed Johnson when to throw over. He'll throw over again.
And again, Santana gets back in, this time standing up.
I think Brad is trying to get a really good read on whether Santana is going to try to steal or not, and to decide whether he wants to call a pitch out or not.
Runner goes. McCann's throw is not in time.
Another good pitch to run on. It was Jordan Schaefer who stole on a breaking ball, and also Santana, surprisingly enough, stayed over there until he got the breaking ball, and then he took off.
Strong throw by McCann. Right on the bag. But late. It's another steal for Santana, his 18th. So Dozier now an RBI opportunity, still only 1 out. They'll run the count now to 3-1. Waiting on deck, Joe Mauer.
And Phil Koch still heating up down in that Tigers bullpen. Phil Koch has had really good numbers in his career against Mauer.
In there for a strike, 3-2.
Well, they say if you're going to throw it 3-1, you might as well throw it 3-2. And that would be the breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. It got away from the catcher, McCann. And the runner will advance to third. Dozier is out. 2 gone with the runner at third now. Let's take another look at it.
I was trying to decide on whether he got crossed up or not, but didn't appear to get crossed up.
No, it didn't look like it. Just bounced right off his glove. And now with Mauer coming up, he's not going to face Johnson. They're going to bring in Koch to face the lefty. So another critical spot here for Phil Koch late in a ball game. The Twins have added a run here to go up 7-4, and it looks like Mauer is checking over some numbers, but he has seen Koch before, and Koch's had success against him.
Let's take a look at the big boys, big play of the game. Actually, it could be big plays of the year for Santana against Tigers pitching. He tripled as the very first batter for the Twins in the bottom half of the first inning and scored. Then he hit a double the next time he was up, and now another single here in the stolen base in the bottom half of the eighth inning. Danny Santana has had a fabulous rookie season.
Big night tonight for Santana. He's standing at third now as Phil Koch will come in and try and get Joe Mauer. Here are the numbers on Phil Koch this year.
He's holding left-handed hitters to a .224 batting average this season. These two hooked up a couple of nights ago. It was a battle that eventually was won by Joe Mauer, but Phil Koch made some real nice pitches against Joe. He usually takes the first pitch fastball. He was able to get ahead of him with one strike, and he worked to count to 2-2. And this is where Mauer just kind of gets really good, fouling out everything that Phil Koch threw up there, finally fighting something off the opposite way for a base hit and 2 more RBIs. If you're Phil Koch, well, you just have to tip your hat to Joe Mauer in that particular situation.
So what are the numbers between these two, you ask? Well, Mauer's hit a couple of homers against Koch, but overall the number is 238 versus Phil. Well, Saturday MLB returns to Fox as the Tigers and Royals square off in a crucial AL Central showdown on Fox Sports 1. And the NL Central leading Cardinals take on the Reds. That action starts at 12:30 Eastern on Fox, continues at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1, streaming live also on Fox Sports Go.
If you're feeling, you don't necessarily just want to lay the first pitch fastball down the middle to Mauer. On occasion, when there's runners on base, he will not take that first pitch. He'll swing at it.
Mauer trying to drive in the run for third now with 2 outs. A run in for Minnesota. And he does swing at the first pitch, and he fouls it back out of play.
He's sneaky. I mean, he's one of those guys that will try to lure you to sleep. And then when you think he's going to take that pitch right down the middle, he's there ready to ambush you.
Mauer in the ball game, an RBI double. He's also walked and scored a run. Santana down at third. His RBI single, a big one in this inning. Again, the Tigers will have the top of the order coming up when we get to the 9th. Here's the 0-1. Way inside.
Phil got out and around that last breaking ball. Didn't get on top of it, therefore it didn't get much depth on that pitch.
Koch ready with the 1-1. Here it is. Drive to center field, base hit. Mauer goes to left center to drive in another huge run.
Yeah, his batting average not very high against Phil Koch, but the last 2 meetings, Mauer 2 for 2 with 3 runs driven in. And Mauer also goes to like his 2-strike emergency hack against the left-hander Phil Koch. He got that fastball upstairs, and that's where the majority of Mauer's hits have gone throughout his career.
Huge run, 2 more in for Minnesota. They've extended their lead now to 8-4, and that'll bring up Kenny Vargas. Mauer gets his second RBI of the night. And Vargas sends a ground ball back at third, fielded there by Castellanos, and that will end the inning. The 2 big runs coming in for Minnesota as we go to the 9th inning. Tigers have the top of the lineup coming up. Kinsler, then Hunter, and then Cabrera. 4 in favor of the Minnesota Twins. They're trying to take 2 out of 3 here from Detroit and derail their plans. We have a new pitcher now. Jarrett Burton will try and close this one down.
And Burton's got a really good changeup. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s, but he's got a well above average changeup, and he's not afraid to throw that changeup to the right-handed batters, and he will also feature it quite a bit to the lefties.
So he's got the top of the lineup to deal with. It'll be Kinsler, Hunter, and Cabrera, and if somebody gets on, Martinez. If somebody else gets on, J.D. Martinez. Kinsler looks at a ball inside. The 9th inning is underway, 8-4 in favor of the Twins. He's seen Burton a few times, 1 for 9 against him. And that's it for a strike, 1-1. Burton goes 6'5", 225 out of Westminster, South Carolina.
Yeah, their starter tonight, Kyle Gibson, he was a tall fella as well. He was 6'6".
That'll get back out of play, 1-2. Now Burton with a 1-2. Ground ball back up the middle to his left. Nunez throws him out, 1 away. Well, tickets for potential American League Division Series games are on sale right now. Guaranteed tickets for all potential Tigers postseason games by placing a 2015 season ticket deposit. Visit Tigers.com. You'll get all the details you need there. Torrey Hunter jersey, Minnesota style. Here is Torrey with 1 out. He's been good at getting it started tonight. Had a single in the 7th inning to get it started. Knocked in a run with a base hit in the 2nd. 13 hits for Minnesota in this game, 11 for Detroit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball to short. It's another routine play for Nunez. And out number 2 is recorded. Tigers down to the final out. It'll be Miguel Cabrera strolling in. Well, it's been a huge night for Miggy.
His batting average up to 319 now.
Yeah. Been a huge September for Miggy.
I mean, you don't usually come into the game and gain 5 points on your batting average with as many at bats as Miguel Cabrera has on September 17th.
Strike 1 on Miguel.
571 at bats for Miggy.
He has been drilling the ball all over the lot tonight. 2 doubles, 2 singles, RBI, run scored. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
There's that changeup that I told you that Burton features, and it's a plus changeup at 87 miles an hour. The bottom fell out of it. It's almost like a palm ball.
Haven't heard that term in a while.
Right.
Little palm ball.
Yeah.
There's the 0-2. Fouled away. Should Cabrera reach, Victor Martinez waiting on deck. Jarrett Burton trying to get the final out. The 0-2, swinging a high fly ball to left field. Ball is hit well. Schaefer going back to make the catch. And Minnesota wins 2 out of 3 down the stretch here against the Tigers. Rod, it's just unbelievable how well pesky they've been.
Yeah, the starting pitching today for the Tigers wasn't very good, and Then after that, you got to give the Minnesota Twins credit. They scored 6 runs again against Tigers pitching, which is what they've done, averaged all year long.
So their lead in the American League Central Division down to a half game now as we head to KC. Your final tonight, 8-4. Back with more.